Have I got a surprise for you? Anybody that's my friend or family member has had this before, and you've been begging me to make it, but I didn't know how. Until my neighbor across the street, Sandy B, master baker, helped me create pistachio cake. Let's try it.
Alrighty.
Digging right in.
Ooh, I almost lost it.
Oh my God. Just as good as the first time I had it.
Delicious.
Wait
Very
and
good.
see how to make this. It's super easy. Easier than you would think. Because it'll blow your pistachio cake. Let me tell you about the first time I ever had this. We had this awesome neighbors, Richard and Sandy, across the street. They're very neighborly, and they brought us over a pistachio cake. And I was like, never had one before, and I didn't think I liked pistachios at all either. Anyway, Sandy brought this cake over, and she said she was known for it in Alabama. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Still didn't think much of it, but I said, I'm gonna have a piece because that's the neighborly thing to do. So I had a piece, and mind blown. And I'm telling you right now, it's rare that my mind gets blown. And it was awesome. So we've had it many times since, much due to my begging. And today, we have the creator here to help us make it ourselves. And we're gonna share it with you because I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love this recipe. If you've never had it, I don't care. You gotta try it and you'll be famous wherever you are. So let me introduce our good friend and master baker, Sandy B.
Hello.
So Sandy's going to teach us how to make it. She brought over a whole bunch of stuff too, but this is going to be, it's actually going to be very easy. We're going to use our stand mixer, and we're going to make it in 2 batches because she has all of the chef style equipment and the huge mixer. I don't. So we're going to make 2 batches, put it in the same pan and bake it. So let's get started. You are going to be amazed at how easy this is. So I will leave the recipe in the comments below, and we're going to double everything. So we're doing the single recipe right here. We're doubling it because it's for a 9x13. So first thing is yellow cake mix. What? For real. So we're going to put that in there. Then we're going to take the plastic out. That's what Sandy the Master Baker has told me to do. Next, 1/2 cup of canola oil. Get it all in there. Pistachio pudding, instant pistachio pudding. And this is 3.4 ounces. And then we're going to take the paper out. Get it all that goodness in there. And then this is 1 cup of club soda. Let's put that in there. And then we're going to need 4 eggs. So we're going to mix this on low while we're doing the eggs. And I'm going to break them over a measuring cup so that I don't get any shell in there. And we're going to add them one at a time. Right? We all know that baking is not my strong suit, so I had to bring in a pro. Alright, that's 3 down and 1 to go. And our final egg. Now should we scrape the sides? But before I turn it up and really give it a good whip, I'm going to scrape the sides just to make sure I got everything. And it looks good. I'm going to crank this up to 7 or 8 for 2 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes is up. We are now going to fold in. So this is 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. And we're just going to fold it in. Because as Sandy pointed out, we don't want to mix it in. This has been aerated. So we're going to gently do it. Okay, so Sandy was nice enough to bring her chef's quality baking 9x13 pan. It's a true 9x13, and you may notice that the edges are squared, the corners. So we don't have to do anything to prep this except put a piece of wax paper in the bottom. And then Sandy just taught me a very neat little thing. She takes an old towel, a clean one, but an old one, and she cuts it into 2 strips, a hand towel. She moistens it up in water, connects it together with safety pins, and then you wrap it around the side. You can see here. And what this is going to do, all right, this is number one mind-blowing thing here. So it doesn't allow the sides to burn, and it also allows, you know how when you cook a cake sometimes it'll puff up in the middle? This will prevent that from happening. So it'll let the sides release, it allows them to release, and it cooks an even flat cake. Isn't that amazing? Who knew? I did not, but we all know I'm not a baker. So anyway, this is ready to go, so let's put in our batch number 1 of our cake mix. Am I good? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm here to tell you, I didn't think I liked pistachio cake because I never had it. Once you do, you're a convert because it is amazing. The most amazing cake you'll ever eat. All right, I'm gonna make batch 2. We're putting this in the oven at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes. Due to the altitude here in Colorado Springs, we're gonna put it in for 45, but if you're making this at sea level, try it out at 40 and test it and see if it's in there. Also, make sure your towel's not underneath your pan so it's level. This one's perfect. Sandy wrapped it. So I'll see you when this comes out of the oven. Okay, so we're out of the oven. I got it on an elevated rack, as you can see, with legs. And we're gonna let it sit out here and cool initially for about 15 to 20 minutes. So here's 4 cups of milk. This is gonna be the filling. And all we're doing is 2 boxes of pistachio instant pudding. Super easy. I'm gonna add both these boxes because it calls for 2 cups, but we're doubling. If you've never had instant pudding before, you basically just whisk it until it gets pudding-like, and then I'm going to stick it in the fridge. Okay, so you can see right now it's starting to form tracks, so I think it's ready to go in the fridge and get nice and chilled. So that's what I'm going to do. See when it's time to put it in the middle of the cake. Oh, man. Okay, we've cooled now for a little over 15 minutes. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the cloth that goes around it. And I did take an offset spatula and go around the edge because it did puff up so high that it went across the edges just a little bit. The middle did sink a little, but that's not a big deal because we're going to flip it upside down. So we're going to put this on there, and it needs to be in the center. Because once it's on this board, it's not moving. So here goes nothing. Booyah! And it's almost perfectly centered. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And we're going to take off our parchment very carefully. I was just told by Master Baker Sandy. That's where I cut it. It's all about being. Everybody's holding their breath. Bam! Okay, so now the trick-a-do is to let it cool completely. So that's what we're going to do. So what Sandy has here is this little wire cutter thing, and it's adjustable up and down. So she's already measured it to go halfway through the cake, and now she's going to cut the cake in half.
You just wiggle it through till you get to the other end, and then you have to be careful when you're coming out the other end so that you don't
Rip out the side.
rip out the whole side of the cake. And now we are going to take a cookie sheet and we're going to take it where we have cut it in half, and we're going to put the cookie sheet underneath it, and we are going to remove the whole top half and set it aside.
So this is the pudding that I made earlier, and it is nice and chilled, which is what you want to have. Do I need all of it or no?
I'd put more than that on there. Okay, try
That's
that. Spread that around and see if that's.
So we're gonna try and spread this evenly.
Yep, because you want to make it as even and level as possible, so that your cake's not going to end up lopsided. So now what we're going to do is we are going to scooch this to the edge a little bit. We're going to find the edge of our cake, and we are going to pull back on it, and we're just going to lay it right back down.
All right.
And there we go.
Now we're gonna start with our frosting. First thing you need is, let me raise this up so you can see a little better. 2 cups of heavy whipping, 1.5 cups of cold milk, 2 packets of pistachio pudding mix. So if you're keeping track, this cake requires 8 boxes. 6 boxes, I'm so sorry. Then 4 teaspoons of confectioner sugar. 1, 3, and 4. Let's put this baby back down. And we're gonna mix for how long, Sandy?
You're gonna mix that until it forms stiff peaks.
Stiff peaks. I've been down this road before and didn't have any luck. So we're gonna start it off slow so we don't have all that dry pudding coming in our face. So we've been
Down
going
in
for
there.
just a couple minutes, and you can see it's starting to get thicker. But I want to scrape the sides real good just to make sure there's no dry pockets in the bottom. Looky here, stiff peaks.
A
Thanks,
stiff
Sandy.
peak.
I've never had such luck.
Alrighty, so.
Because look at that, sticking out straight. That's a stiff peak, all
That
right.
is a stiff peak. Okay.
I bet this is gross. I'm gonna lick it and see. Nope, it's not gross. It's incredible. All right, we are gonna frost here in a second.
Okay, is this our?
Because this has the pudding center, we're gonna put some dowels in it, and that's gonna keep it from sliding off. Nothing worse than getting your cake all done, and you go to put it in your fridge or wherever, and the top slides off. So all we're gonna do is take these little dowels, I'm gonna measure them first, and cut them just below the top. Is that right?
Yes.
So, right about there. There it is. And as you can see, I carefully cut it. So now I have, ooh, that one went across the damn house.
I don't even know.
I got some distance on that one. That's a scrub, you can throw that away, plus it hit the floor. Look at that, if you put your hand on it. Amazing. We're gonna start right here and go right below the surface. Because you want these little bad boys to stay in place. Just along the sides or one in the middle?
Yeah, we put one here, one here, one here, one here, and then one in the middle. Be my guess.
Alright, you have to give me some tips because...
Best thing to do is to frost your edges first.
Oh. A little much, alright. I told you I'm not a professional baker.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right. Can't tell though, huh?
Okay, give it to me.
All right.
You're driving me nuts, Jim.
Sorry.
Okay, let's start on this side. Okay, well, you did a great job right there. Looks like we're gonna be able to put a nice, heavy, thick coat of this delicious
You want more?
whipped cream frosting on here. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna need just a little bit more on there. Okay. You can always do a little bit of a squiggly on the top if you want to, if you don't want to decorate. Do just a little bit of sprinklies here. Ooh, a little walnuts to go with that pistachio.
Yeah, it's so good.
She is a done deal.
I can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you for
I
inviting
can't
me
thank
over.
her enough.
Oh.
Mwah. She's the best.